Okay, bienvenido amigos. This is basically how 3D Game Lab works and subsequently how the class works really quickly. So 3D Game Lab is going to first, it's called quest-based learning. So they present you with quests, you conquer a quest, and then you move on. Of course, 3D Game Lab is set up for the English-speaking gringo. So we're going to be referring to these items in español, por supuesto. So we call them misiones. The first misión you'll see is an introducción mission. And esta misión is fácil. It just tells you what the class is about. And then it will lead you to these missions. These next four missions are really the quest, the main work of the class. The first one is Campo de Entrenamiento, and this is basically the required quests and missions, and each one is related to your book. One is a quiz, one is your online workbook activities. So there are a number of missions that go along with Campo de Entrenamiento. So you'll do that introduction, it will explain it, and then you'll have Lección 1, quests and missions, and then those will lead to your next Lección 2, Lección 3, and so on. Juegos de Guerra misión is like your drill, war games, your drill, practice drill missions, and you start out with reading missions that talk about reading in Spanish and also listening missions. This is your big quest chain category, and as you can see, this goes much further. You have a number of reading and listening missions. This isn't exactly to scale, but this is to give you a general idea. Those will eventually break off into speaking, to practice your speaking skills missions, and these speaking skills missions will eventually turn into writing missions for the Juegos de Guerra section of Game Lab. So this is a big quest chain center here, Juegos de Guerra. De Vacaciones is another quest chain, and there are a number of missions that go along with De Vacaciones, and they're all just kind of different. Some of them are for fun, some of them are very short. However, some of them are a little bit longer and more involved, so they're all just kind of different. They don't really fit into any other category, and they're things I just came up with that I thought you think were interesting or you'd learn from. So I threw them in there, and it's on leave. Some of them you can't even do until you get some of the bigger, like Campo de Entrenamiento or Juegos de Guerra missions done. En el salón de clase are missions that have to do with what we do in class, typically on a Wednesday night or the second meeting of the week at least. First, we will be watching short videos called cortometrajes, and we will have quests or missions related to each one of those videos. So do a mission after watching the video in class. We'll also discuss it a little in class, and that will help you answer the questions or perform the activity related to that short video, cortometraje, that we'll watch in class. Also in class on Wednesday night, if we're not watching a film, we will be debating. We have lots of different topics that we're going to be debating throughout the class. El aborto, el matrimonio nuevo, el tratamiento de animales, all sorts of different debates we'll be having. And then after each debate, there'll be a mission related to that debate that you need to fulfill. So there's a number of those as well, and they'll keep going. A few more than the films. So with each fulfilled mission, you earn points. Each mission is worth a certain amount of points. And at the end of some missions, you will receive, or after a certain amount of points or a certain amount of missions completed, you will receive rewards. I call these rewards, in Game Lab they're called badges or achievements or awards. But I call them premios, medallas, and logros or puestos. Typically related to your fulfillment of missions, you will get medallas, what Game Lab calls badges. Some of them come at the end of a quest chain, and sometimes badges are sprinkled all throughout the work that you do in any individual quest chain. Some medallas or badges will lead to bigger badges or medallas, as is also the case here. Medallista de Honor Congresional. And when combined together, these badges lead to even bigger badges. And the conditions for winning the class or winning the game. As you can see, there are many different medallas, more than kind of my graphic before really demonstrated. Many different types for many different purposes. Some are worth more points than others, and some are harder to get than others. You also see as we go that there are something called premios. Premios are awards, and those I just give out for specific achievements. You did great on an assignment. There's a few extra points here or there, or for doing something specific, maybe not necessarily related to a quest, but in how you completed a quest or how you worked in class. It's like a gold star sticker or something. Then perhaps most importantly are logros or puestos, what Game Lab calls achievements. These are related to a certain number of points or certain number of missions completed in a certain area. But mostly they're just related to the amount of points that you receive in total. First, these are kind of like your ranks. You start out, everyone starts out as privado, aquí. But as you advance, you go to corporal, and then to sergeant, commander, lieutenant, and you keep going all the way to comandante and jefe, and then the ultimate win condition, revolucionario intergaláctico. So as you get points, maybe a recap, as you complete missions, you will get rewards. Rewards and missions give you points. Points eventually add up to rank advancements until you achieve the ultimate win. Also, in your syllabus, these rank advancements relate to your grades, A, B, C, D, and F. So make sure you know how many points you need to obtain the different rank advancements that you want. In addition to points, sometimes there are certain stipulations or other conditions you need to obtain a certain grade. Like you might need a certain amount of points. These points are a little bit off from what they'll be for you, but you'll also, in addition to getting these points, you'll also have to complete all of the Campo de Entrenamiento missions and the Debate missions to get a B. So you'll need these points and certain conditions, like all of the missions in these quest chains. So this is how it works. From mission to mission to mission to awards, you will obtain your lofty goal of defeating monolingual and becoming the ultimate revolutionary. Buena suerte.